Morning, everyone. It's Joe Waxman, and I'm back with another video. This morning, I would like to look at the chart of singer-songwriter Johnny Cash. I'm pretty sure everyone knows who Johnny Cash is. I used to listen to him a lot, and well, what can I say? He's great. He's country, he's rock and roll, he's blues, he's Johnny Cash, the Man in Black. Um, he's truly unique. He's one of the few crossover artists that could do, that really popularized country music in a way that could bring it to the mainstream. Everyone, there's this sort of like cliche among, I guess, the youth, especially, like, what kind of music do you like? I like everything except country, which is, I mean, it is pretty cliche. It is pretty worn out and like ridiculous when you think about it, because there's a lot of good country music, and music is music, and good music is good music, and there's a lot of bad music that's not country. So it's just like, I like everything. That's stupid. It's stupid if you say I like everything except country. That's a stupid thing to say, and you're dumb for saying it. So there's a lot of good country music. There's a lot of good music in all genres. Johnny Cash is a great example. Fantastic musician, a wonderful career, and he's a really cool guy, because not only did he make great music, but he also he had an empathy or compassion for a certain segment of society, the underclass, the underbelly, the seedy. He would play free prison concerts. So, I mean, if he's bringing life, if he can go into a prison where it's full of criminals and make their life better, I respect for him. All right. Sun is Cazimi Mercury. So it's within 17 minutes. I think it's actually 17 minutes. 38, 55, 45, yeah. So 17 minutes exactly. So we just saw that with Keanu Reeves, but his was in Virgo. But 12th house, Pisces, Cazimi Mercury, fantastic. Mars is also there. Excellent for creativity, excellent. And, Folsom Prison Blues. You know what the 12th house represents? I mean, one of the things is prison, isolation, being in closed captivity, things like a prison, jails, asylum, hospitals, things like that, churches. But he definitely had an affinity with prisons. And Pisces is highly creative. Mercury here, I mean, it's supposedly debilitated in Pisces, but it is Cazimi, the sun, so the creative aspect is super charged, super powerful here, right? Let's see. Sun is ruling the 6th house, so that's opposite, 6th and the 12th. And Mercury is ruling the 4th and the 7th. So from early childhood and hometown and the masses, others, bringing them to his creativity zone in Pisces, 12th house. Mars is ruling the 9th and the 2nd. So his voice also is becoming a part of that, and his philosophy, his outlaw philosophy, his rebel philosophy, Scorpio, Mars. Some people consider Mars and Scorpio to be the rebel, or Aries. I mean, a lot of people say it's Aquarius. I mean, they're all different kinds of rebels, and there's different ways to look at it. But yeah, so the outlaw, the rebel. A Scorpio can often be a criminal element as well, because it deals with other people's money, other people's resources, shared resources. And if you're going to a bank and robbing it, that could be considered sharing other people's resources. You know what I mean? That's the way a criminal views it. What's yours is mine. What's mine is mine. That sort of thing. So this is a highly creative aspect, very technical skill, a lot of technical skills, because Mars and Mercury together are ruling the skills and the ability. Moon is in Scorpio in the 8th house, and this is really where he gets a lot of his darkness. And there's always a dark element to Johnny Cash. I mean, he's known as the Man in Black because he always dressed in black, and you know, he liked the cream, the sort of, you know, underbelly of society, the criminal element, the seedy quality, the darkness. Moon in Scorpio and in the 8th house is pretty hard on the moon. That's a very troubled moon. There's a lot of darkness there, a lot of criminality, not criminality, but like darkness, demons, potential for criminality. Anyway, Scorpio, as I've said before, often has people die around them. And he had a tragic accident when he was younger. Well, his brother did, where his brother died. His brother nearly got cut in half by a table saw, and he died. And we can see that here very much. It's ruling the 5th house, so that's not elder sibling, but 11th house is, and there's Saturn, and Saturn can often represent death, and so can Venus. Not Venus can represent, I'm sorry, I'm not speaking right. So can the square from Pluto to Venus, and Venus is ruling the 3rd house of siblings. Okay, so you'll often see, and if it's coupled with Uranus, and I'm just talking about the death here. Uranus means sudden things, sudden events like accidents. Pluto can mean death. Saturn can mean death. So it's like, if it's like Pluto and Uranus with the ruler of either Mercury or the ruler of the 3rd or 11th house, or Mars, that's death of a sibling oftentimes. Not always, but often. Anyway, potential, let's put it that way. So here we have the 3rd Lord Venus, sibling, with conjunct Uranus, square Pluto, so death of a sibling. Not that I would automatically assume that, but anyway. This is a very unique combination, Uranus and Venus, and we know that he had a drug addiction as well, and we can see that here, 12th house as well, and the square to Pluto, because Venus is our leisure, it's our joy, it's what we love, it's what we do when we're not working, when we're relaxed, when we just want to have fun. And Uranus and the square to Pluto would definitely indicate like an extreme craving, an extreme indulgence, and something indulging in very extreme things, and this drugs and alcohol. It also says that his relationships are very extreme and transformative, very deep, powerful, intense, obsessive, controlling. All the darker qualities of Pluto are are potentially possible. Plus, Uranus will make it, you know, crave for freedom and uniqueness, rebellion, out of the box. We saw this with Miley Cyrus, this Venus-Uranus combination. But of course, she's a woman, a young woman, and Johnny Cash is not. And Venus is a feminine planet. So this more describes what he, you know, what he's going to be indulging in and what he goes for in relationships. He's going to go for very unique women, very diverse, very rebellious, very Uranian. And with the square to Pluto, it's going to be very intense and obsessive and transformative. Anyway, like that. This is also influencing his voice because it's conjuncting the 2nd house cusp. So it's giving him a very nice voice because Venus is the ruler of Taurus, but Uranus is making it very distinct, very unique, very different, right? And it's ruled by Mars in the 12th house, so bringing in a lot of creative elements with being in Pisces. Let's see what else. Chiron is here, and Chiron often brings a lot of empathy. It's in his second, third house. So, you know, just in general, I think, I mean, there's a square to Jupiter. So, you know, his belief system. Anyway, I think it's tied to his concern for the underdogs of society, going to, you know, into prison and doing free concerts, things like that. Jupiter's in the fifth in Leo, and that's great for performance, great for creativity. Jupiter is not necessarily a creative planet, although it is the co-ruler of Pisces, and Pisces is creative. But Jupiter is the teacher generally and a guru. So this shows him being on stage in front of people, essentially, being a performer, being a teacher, being somebody who can just, you know, be. And it's ruling the 10th house cusp as well as the first. So first and the fifth, that's definitely creative. 10th in the fifth, it's creative career. So Neptune is opposite the sun exact and Mercury, and this is a very creative opposition because Neptune rules Pisces, but it's in the sixth house in Virgo. So it's like opposite, so it's kind of dynamic. Oh, by the way, Jupiter and Sun are trading places. They don't have an aspect, but Jupiter is in Sun's sign, Sun is in Jupiter's sign. So 5th and 12th, that's highly creative because they're both creative houses. And then 6th and 12th is because Neptune is the co-ruler of Pisces in the 6th house in Virgo, where Mercury is. So Mercury and Pisces are trading places as well. Exactly. And that's interesting because 6th house would be more like daily mundane routines, fighting, conflict. But Neptune is creative. So here we have like the 6th house will be like the ability to refine and edit the creativity, as well as being creative itself, because Neptune. So like there's bringing in like oppositions here. Like Mercury is the not necessarily creative, but it brings the skills, it brings the intellect, it brings the communication and the ability to refine and intellectually like edit the work. You know, it's like the paring it down. You always need that with creativity, because purely creative person will just come up with tons of creation, right? And then you'll need the Virgo type to be like, okay, we need to completely edit this whole thing and slim it down, and we just want the best, and we want to organize it in the right way, and we want to make it perfect. So that's Virgo, Mercury's role in all this. They're the editors, the critic, and that's extremely helpful with creativity, because you don't want to rely on somebody else to do that. Every artist needs to be able to edit their own work. Otherwise, they're going to be dependent on others. You know, and there are artists like that. They're just singers who don't write their own music. They just sing other people's songs, and that's how they get famous. And it's just not nearly as good as being able to write your own music and perform it, and, you know, like that. And he was a singer-songwriter, so he was the full package. Those are the best musical artists, the singer-songwriter, the ones who can write their own songs, right? South Node in the 7th house, fantastic for a musician, anyone who wants to be heard, or a public speaker, anyone who wants to be heard by the masses, because South Node is what we come in with, and the descendant or 7th house is the masses, reaching others. And so here he can, you know, play music and speak to the masses, reach them. Later, as he got older, it's into his 1st house and in Pisces, and he's becoming, after 42 is like where North Node really becomes activated, late 30s, but 42 especially. Then it's like he's becoming more of an icon, right? He's Johnny Cash. He doesn't even need to be like anything fantastic because he's Johnny Cash. And he's also becoming more spiritual and more creative and more compassionate towards others. And we can see that, like, we get a softer Johnny Cash as time goes on. He's less into his, like, you know, rock and roll, rockabilly outlaw, rebel, drinking, fighting, all that. And he's more like, he's taking on a spiritual quality, and that's Pisces. Even I mean, he has it originally, but he had like this kind of tough guy, yeah, outlaw, you know, kind of thing going on here. And that's the North Node in the Pisces. You know, it's making him an icon, because North Node conjunct the ascendant, or in the first house, is really super amplifying the ascendant, or the first house in general, and making it all about him. It's the first house is the most powerful house, you have to understand, because it influences everything else. I have the North Node in the first house, so I'm becoming more powerful as I get older. Thank you very much. But Johnny Cash is as well. So what else? Saturn is in its own sign in Aquarius. It's ruling the 11th and 12th house. And it's at 0 degrees. And it's in its own sign, so it's in good dignity. If it was in bad dignity, it would really delay career success a lot. Or a lot more than it has. I would say it has not. I mean, we saw it with Van Gogh. It was delaying career success till after his death. Not the same case with Johnny Cash, but what it will do is really lengthen his career. Long after he's dead and long into the future, Johnny Cash will be remembered because Saturn is in his 11th house in domicile in Aquarius, right? So it's in good dignity. Yeah, that also tells me that inevitably he's going to make good use of any negative aspects, squares, because squares are hard aspects, and Saturn is a hardworking planet. When Saturn is in good dignity, the person has the ability to make use of hard aspects, and at least a better ability, and they can take, you know, the negative situations and turn them around, and he did. As far as I know, I'm not a Johnny Cash expert, but he did not, you know, he did not die young, number one. He did not succumb to drugs and alcohol I mean, it did take its toll, but he had a long, successful career, and that's, you know, and he came out the right end of life. You know, I think he grew and evolved and became a better man. And on top of having monumental success, I mean, success oftentimes can ruin a person. We see that all the time with these, you know, all these 27-year-olds dying young from who are extremely famous, right? Interesting. This is very prominent. This is Pallas Athena conjunct the MC, square the nodes. And I don't really know what it means in this sense, because Pallas Athena is the goddess of war and strategy and wisdom. And oftentimes it's associated with very good like intellectual pursuits, pattern recognition. It's very good conjunct Mercury or the ascendant. I have it conjunct Mercury because Pallas worked with Hermes to defeat Medusa, and I have it on Algol, by the way. But I don't really know what this means. This squares to the nodes often indicate something that's faded during one's life, but I don't know how Pallas Athena relates to Johnny Cash's life. I'm just being honest with you, nor do I understand how it relates to the MC as far as his career is concerned. Maybe he was extremely intelligent. Maybe he like just had this ability to understand musical patterns. Maybe, I mean, maybe it really helped his writing career, musical writing ability a lot. That's quite possible. I don't know enough about it to say for sure. Just being honest with you. All right. So that's pretty much it. Well, yeah, Venus is ruling the 8th house cusp here, the 8th and the 3rd. So that's definitely difficult. And because the 3rd is the sibling. Yeah, I already covered that, but I'm just going back on it. that's pretty much it. He doesn't have any out of bounds planets or stationary, so there's nothing really to comment about that. It's really all about well, like everything I said, you know, the 12th house, this axis is really super strong. Neptune is often involved in drugs and alcohol, which he had a problem with. So is Pisces in 12th house. And like I said, so is Uranus potentially. I mean, Uranus not always, not really, but Uranus will be like, oh, let me try this, let me try that. But Pluto will definitely take one into like drugs and alcohol and addiction and sex and all that. I mean, well, sex. I mean, who doesn't like sex? But anyway, addiction. Pluto is very much about addiction. So is Neptune. Yeah. Jupiter has a really nice trine on this Venus in Uranus, so that's very good for the voice and just his luck in general and success. I think that's it. I don't want to make it too long. Yeah, that's Johnny Cash. I just, you know, gotta respect the guy. He did a lot. He did great things. So I love him. All right, that's it for now, guys. I will see you soon. Thanks. Bye. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Go to my website if you want to book a reading, macroastrology.com. And if you want me to do a mini read for anyone, you know, write it in the comments section. Let me know. All right, that's it. Thanks. Bye.